시부기 조심해 도탐 리라링신인 내겐 바디 상계 신두 밑에 오아기 조크남다 신나 지스파쇼 이람 구루 рат나 만달라 감니야타야미 최단 소기 초남라 chanchu dani kapsuchi daki chenyen gi pesanam ki dola penshu sangye dupasho chedan soki chonamla chanchu badu dani kapsuchi daki chenyen gi pesanam ki Dola penshir sangye dupasho Chedan soki chonamla Chanchu bardu dadni kapsuchi Dagi chenyen gipe sanamki Dola penshir sangye dupasho So
Imagine what?
Imagine
I think that's words. Huh? We'd have to ask. Oh, it's yours?
No, yeah, she gave it to me.
Okay, try to make me look good. Try to make me look good.
I can't really understand
My honey's here.
What does that mean? Can you explain it to us?
I hope you can explain this one.
No, you're supposed to look smart.
Oh, like that. Oh, yeah. Of course. Robin.
Oh, it's that again.
Fine, only school, no problem.
Okay, this is the most difficult book. Okay.
That's why we do.
And I actually got up early this morning because I was so scared to teach it. What's the name of the book? What's the short name? Aha.
Difficult questions.
No, but that wasn't easy.
Commentary on.
Academic.
Our book. Okay, not the book. It's commentary. Yeah, it's the Golden Key. That's
It's called the Golden Key.
Yeah, and it actually has functioned like that way for us.
Yo, now tell her what's the subject.
Okay, so the subject is. How complicated. Okay, the subject is about the mind-only school of Buddhism, and there's two extra mental functions in that school. One is where you keep your deeds, all the things you've done, and one is where you keep all your bad thoughts. And so it's a book about how to answer difficult questions, which they have proven to be about that school.
Wow.
About these two new parts of the mind.
Parts of the mind. Consciousnesses.
And this is our breakfast. And it's a custom in this class to eat whenever you're hungry.
Necessary.
Okay, here we go. So we're on section 7. Now, Jensen Karpa did not... This is we were just talking, me and Word, that we believe maybe was never meant to be a full text. Because it's very, it's like a sketch, you know. It is really just touching on the hard points, and the verses are not regular. He's like 2.5 lines relate to this, 1.5 line relate to this. Okay. Mm-hmm. So here we go. Please read.
Sabangi, Wangi,
Ki, nice.
Nedun, Lusuni.
Yeah.
Nang Chir, Mikpa, Dr. Du.
Good. And so we retreated from Jetson Karpa's root text, and we went to a commentary. And what this guy does is he takes Tsongkhapa's words and he separates them, and he adds other words between them to make it easier. And he's really good at it. And so he's not the most famous author. But I would say this book is going to make him famous, and you will find, I think, that the books we chose we have to be careful about the books we choose, but a lot of the reason why these guys aren't famous is that nobody can read them. So once you make a readable version, you're kind of making their reputation in the West. You know, people, based on your translation, they'll say, oh, these were great thinkers that they never heard of before that. So
That's good to see.
yeah. So this is an interesting question. I'm going to ignore the root text because it's ununderstandable until you get the commentary. And here's the commentary. Yipani, which I think was a gesu. Was it a gepa?
Oh.
Oh, are we on the Gepa now?
We're
No, we did the Gepa.
I don't know.
We last went over the 3 things that were kept in the kunshi.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
3 things. So kunshi means the place where all your karmas are stored. And how big is it? Yeah, because karmas are potentials. They can live on the tip of a needle. The karmas seeds that you created for 1,000,000 years can fit on the tip of a needle, somewhere in your heart chakra. Okay, so Nipani, if I was not in a hurry, I would figure out what's number 2. But anyway, let's go on. Kelte, can you read?
Kelte wang dun bakchak tsum le mikbar
La, Mikbar.
la mikbar shena
Good.
bakchak de kun shi mikbar jitar gyur
Gyur.
ingyur namna
Nyamna.
nyamna.
Yeah, and I also had this question. Can you guess? It's a question. Nyamna means if you may think to yourself, maybe you have this question. And it kind of implies the author had the same question. You know, the question comes up here. If you say, Kelte, that there's 3 things that the kunchi focuses on.
Yeah.
So this place where your seeds are stored is also a nowhere. It's a consciousness. So it's kind of difficult idea. Don't forget, it's a kind of consciousness, which means it knows something. So it's not just a passive bucket for your old seeds. It also is aware of the world. And then Jetsakaba identified 3 things that this kunchi is aware of. Okay, mikba here means focuses upon. Shena means, you said, you just got through saying that it focuses on 3 different things. One,
the
then,
sense powers, the
bucket.
object, and
Yeah,
the
good.
seeds
The
themselves.
sense powers, like the eye faculty, the power of sight, and the din,
The object.
the object, the colors and shapes, and then the bakchat.
The seeds themselves.
Specific kinds of seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, these kind of
The sun's
potentials in the mind. And I had a question that came up in my mind as he said that, and perhaps you had the same question. And he's saying maybe you had the same question, which is, bakchakte kunchi mipo jitar.
Which ones?
No, jitar.
How are they
Yeah.
stored in?
What do you mean it focuses on the bakchaks?
Yeah,
I can understand it's looking at blue, and I can understand it's aware of my eyeball. But what do you mean it's focusing on the seeds in the mind? What do you mean?
And he said
You
it
know.
focuses on them without being aware of them or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's
that
that?
was weird.
He focuses on them without being aware of them. Rikpa milrikpa.
Well, that means you see blue, but you're not aware that it's part of your mind.
Okay.
Right. We went
That's
over that
that
last
part.
time.
Okay. then.
Okay.
And it was specific bakchucks.
Yeah, but I like this question. Yeah, I like this question because this question also came up in my own mind. Right.
Cool.
Here's the answer. Please read up to the first comma.
Bakchak kimingi namdrang sabengi.
Now, here's one of his super useful appositives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and what we did, Word and I, we
I'll go on the root text.
we blocked out the word root test for you. He blocked out the whole thing, I think, but I ignored it and started over again. Okay, so what you see underlined is Tsongkhapa, and the rest is our appositive,
Okay.
and God bless him. and he's good at it. Okay, so he just positivized. He just told you what is
Sabin.
sabin. Yeah,
And it's a name for
sabin,
Yeah.
which is just another name for
Baksha.
baksha. Okay.
Which can be accounted for?
No, namdang means
like no
It's
name.
one
there's an
among-
idiom for Adam.
Isn't it one among the names or something?
Namdang means synonym basically.
Oh.
You can also translate it as another word, another name for. Okay. Now, there's one exception if you're really interested about the word namdang.
Sure.
It's also the name of an obscure meditation, Chuki Namdang Getinginsen,
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
in the
Form realm.
Heart Sutra.
Oh.
In the Heart Sutra, the Buddha at the beginning goes into the meditation called Chuki Namdang.
Yeah.
And sometimes a scripture is called Chuki Namdang, which can be translated as this presentation of the Dharma. This presentation of the Dharma. Like Kamala Shila refers to his own book as a Chuki Namdang, a presentation of the Dharma. Okay. I like to think of the one in the Heart Sutra as this book by Ursula Le Guin, The Names of God or something, you know. It's like cosmic meditation, all the names of... Okay. Anyway, so our author is being helpful because he says, by the way, the word sabin in this section, there's not really verses, right?
Right.
In this 7th section, it means bakchak. Why is it important that he made that clarification?
Because because Jason Kappa also uses Bakchak at other places.
Yeah, that's what he called it the last time.
Yep.
So,
We didn't know.
yeah, if you didn't have someone telling you, by the way, sabin here is what he was just calling bakchak. If you didn't have someone telling you that, you think it's some other thing.
Yeah.
So it's a very nice footnote.
Yeah.
It's a very nice. By the way, sabin in section 7 is what he was calling bakchak back in section 6. You know, like thank you. You know, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Why would Tsongkhapa change the word?
Because they're synonyms?
He kind of wants his students to understand there's different words for it.
Hmm.
Or maybe they know the word sabin, but they don't. Sabin is a common colloquial word for seed. Bakchak is not. So maybe he's just trying to help his students or something. Okay. Sabin ki, okay, here's root text.
Mm-hmm.
We can see it here. Sabin ki, wang ki. So he could have said sabin ki, or he could have said sabin ki, wang ki. But what's it mean?
By the seeds?
Power of
Yeah, by the power of the seeds. Sabin ki, wang ki.
Mm-hmm.
Things appear. Okay, things appear. Here's the verb down here. Okay, things appear. Due to the power of the seeds, things appear.
yeah.
Well, what? Well, as the ne, okay? Now he appositivizes ne. So sometimes the appositive is coming before the word, and sometimes the positive is coming after the word. And the te alerts you to an appositive.
Positive.
It's an M dash in English.
Yeah.
Okay?
STE, same thing, right?
It
Can be
depends
used.
on the previous suffix letter. Okay?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, one of them is te,
The other one's
which
te.
is te,
Te.
which is also a pronoun.
Yeah, right.
So it's confusing. If it ends in D, if the syllable before ends in D,
Mm-hmm.
as a conjunction, you're required to use DE.
Oh.
But DE also
te.
means that thing I was talking about before. So whenever you see D as the last letter of the syllable before,
That
be
means-
suspicious.
Yeah.
It might be just a conjunction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so the ne, now he's gonna define ne. He's gonna gloss ne for us. You know, the location is created by the seeds. The location is created by the seeds. But what's location mean?
The place that supports
Wang ten kopa. Wang ten kopa.
Oh, right.
the place that supports the sense of
The,
power.
the,
Yeah,
the
no.
actual-
Kokpa, we said, means a hollow,
Concavity.
a concavity.
Nice.
And a common colloquial use of this word is genkok,
Okay.
which means infirm, and it refers to old people. Okay,
Oh.
kok means almost like bamboo.
Oh, they're like.
They're like empty inside. They're like a fruit that's empty inside. Okay, genkok. Genkok means fragile older person. Okay, so kok has those meanings. Here it just means
Space.
the organ. Okay, this it means the place means that in English we say the seat of the sense power. We call it the
Right.
seat. Okay, that's just also an idiom, right? Why call it seat?
Cause navel kind of means seat too.
Yeah, you could say that. It's up to you.
Okay.
But the Wang Ten means the what? Wang Bui Ten.
But what support the
sense
the what's
Yeah, the
support for the
support
basis.
sense power.
yeah.
So the idea in Buddhism, and Stanley's going to get to it soon, in the second chapter of the Abhidhamma-kosha, is that the eyeball is not the power of sight. It's not the organ of sight. It's the seat of the organ of sight. The organ of sight lives in this flesh ball, but the flesh ball is not the organ of sight. According to Abhidhamma-kosha, there are cells at the back of the eyeball which are sensitive to changes in light, and that's the sense power. You see, but it lives. It lives in this ball. Okay, those cells live in this ball. So the ball is called, the organ, but not the power, not the faculty. Okay, so now he's talking about who created your eyeball, who created your physical ear, who created your schnazola. Okay, and here the sense power is the skin on the inside, and on the tongue it's the skin on the top that senses taste. So there's this distinction made in Buddhism between the physical seat of the senses and the actual faculty.
But the faculty is still physical, right?
Yeah, they're both still physical. They're both still physical. Okay. The patch of cells at the back of the eye, optic nerve, is still physical. But it lives in this ball of flesh called the eyeball. So they distinguish between the eyeball and the optic nerve. Okay? So here what Tsongkhapa is saying, the physical seat, the eyeball, okay, the Wang Ten Kokpa, literally that hollow sense organ seat. Okay? So that's one thing, okay? One thing is appearing, okay? Due to the power of the seeds, your past karma, okay? Due to the power of the seeds of your past karma, you have the impression that you have an eyeball, okay? A. And then B, dens.
The object which is form and such.
Yeah, good. Now here the appositive comes afterwards. So this guy is so helpful. He gives Tsongkhapa's word, and then he gives us 5 or 6 words to explain it. And that's why we hired him. Okay. I never met him before, but his resume looked really good. So the dens are what?
The form and all the other objects.
Yeah,
which
the five objects of. So here you might want to say visible form,
Right.
so as not to confuse it with the first of the 5 heaps.
And then how would you distinguish between yul and din?
It's an appositive. Yeah, I don't know. That's a words problem. That's why they call him word. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this word.
Now, so far we had the seed of the eye faculty. We had the object of the eye faculty, but we didn't have the
Consciousness.
the eye faculty.
Oh.
Okay, we didn't have the optic nerve. Okay, we had the physical seat of it. We had the object of it, but we didn't talk about the eye power yet. So this is confusing. If you don't have a commentator, you're already in trouble.
Yeah, right.
So now he gives you the
eyeball.
Yeah, and it doesn't even say. Okay, Lu.
The body where the eyeball
The
sits.
body. Here doesn't refer to the eyeball.
Right.
It refers to the Wangpo.
Right. The power.
the sense
The
power
sense power.
living in the eyeball. Okay, so it's even more confusing. So Tsongkhapa has called the 5 sense powers body.
What?
Interesting.
Okay, body in Tsongkhapa's lines.
Does he just mean physical?
No, it's the sense powers. It's the faculties, and not their seats, because he covered the seats already.
Right.
Doesn't that seem intuitively backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would have felt better backwards, but
Yeah.
I trust this guy.
Okay.
Even that he took us this far is very helpful. So here's the day, colon or M dash, body,
Okay.
meaning Wambo. Now, Wambo nga, the 5 sense powers.
5.
Now,
Nga.
unfortunately, we have this Su,
Mm,
and we have this
right.
And I made myself a note because it took me a while to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's the as, okay? As, okay?
As the 5.
Yeah, what?
The
five
the
senses.
the seeds appear as the 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's very confusing. Okay? You think you're seeing blue. You think you have an eyeball. You think you have the capacity to detect blue. But it's all seeds opening inside your mind. Okay, cool?
Yeah.
So the verb num, appear, as the seeds, due to the power of the seeds, okay, things appear as the physical seeds, the things they see, and the power, the faculty of sight itself. The seeds appear as that. Okay, so that's the Dani grammar case, right? And that's why the Su is there.
Mm.
And the is a commentary on the Su. Okay? Very subtle. Very subtle.
Wow.
Now it's here now. Therefore, now he says something even cooler. And God bless him. And to me it's very exciting. So I'm easily excitable. Bakchak, Sam Sabin.
Or seed. Backtrack or seed.
So these potentials, which you can also call
Sabin.
or seeds, he's just repeating. Did you remember what I said in 2 lines ago?
Right.
Okay, so these bakchaks, what Tsongkhapa originally called bakchaks, okay, these potentials, or you can call them seeds, don't forget, when we include them, okay, tu, as members, right? We just had nangsen. Members of a list, members of a set
Right.
are called nangsen.
Members of the stuff
Okay.
we see.
When we include them
Oh,
in the list
that's
of the kunshi's mikpas,
the
Objects.
stuff it sees.
good,
Yeah.
yeah, of things that the kunshi focuses on,
Yeah.
okay, it's just tanya takpa.
It's just conventional. It's
No.
just labeled that way now.
Yeah, they're not really. We're just calling them that because they're there.
Uh,
It's so nice because I was wondering why you don't focus on the seeds. The seeds make what you focus on, but you're not like focusing on the seeds. Okay, your kunshis, they live in the kunshi, but they're not what the kunshi focuses on. They open, they show things to the kunshi, right? They show colors, they show shapes, they show people, but that's not what the kunshi looks at.
Right.
And he says, you know what? You're right. Tiny tapadu. You know, we just call them focused on.
Wow.
Okay? And here's the correct spelling of labeled.
Nice.
Okay? That we had in the 4 seals. Okay, this guy has spelled it correctly. Okay? They're just labeled that. We just call them that. Okay? They're just called what?
Labeled.
Give me the
Means
Tibetan.
focused upon. Oh.
Mikpa.
Mikvah.
Okay, they're just called mikvahs of the kunchi, but they're not, which reduces the mikvahs of kunchi to only 2.
Yeah.
So the 2 types of bakchaks?
Oh, the
No.
sense powers and the,
The
objects.
Oh,
Yeah, the objects and the powers.
Right. Minus the
The objects and the
bakchaks.
powers.
And you only have objects and
Because
powers.
remember it was 11.
Yeah, it was 11, but there was 2 types of bok chop.
Yeah.
It was 3, but
5 powers, 5 senses, and bok chops.
right.
But guess what? Bok chops are not really. We just kind of put them there.
Well,
Well, you focus on what they produce, but you don't focus on them. How's that? Why? But this key is the disjunctive, okay? This that's the root text, okay? We accept them. We just accept them as objects of the focus of the kunchi. We just accept them as that. But key disjunctive, okay? Disjunctive genitive. It's not that they nangwa to the kunchi.
Not that they appear to the kunchi.
Yeah, okay. They're not making some kind of appearance to the kunchi.
Mine.
Okay, Mayan. That's so nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's such a relief. You know, like who could understand that?
Kunchi
Not
itself?
me.
Hmm?
The kunchi itself, korang.
I'm sorry, what?
Korang.
Korang.
No.
Kunchi itself.
Those bok chops themselves.
Oh.
Oh, those themselves.
Don't appear.
Those
They
bok
aren't an
chops.
appearance.
It's not that the bok chops themselves. It's a mayungar.
Yeah,
What?
because the powers and the objects.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
The stuff that comes out of the bok chops is appearing to the kunchi.
Mm.
As what they are, okay? If you want to get fancy.
Yeah.
But, you know, we didn't mean to say that the bok chops appear to the kunchi,
Right.
okay? It's such a, I mean, to me, I'm just like in heaven.
Since those two things are what there is to see of a bok chop arising, perhaps.
You can say that.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, if I was in the debate ground, I'd say, no, he said 3.
He
Yeah,
did say
sure.
3.
Good. Is that, do you
What?
think that's why he threw in the seat of the sense power?
Yeah.
Included it.
Yeah.
I would say he threw in the seat, okay?
Yeah. To cover the 3.
No,
Oh,
not to cover 3.
Very clear.
For him, the bok chops are the 3rd.
right. Right.
But in this verse, he threw in another one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he just considers it part of the sense powers.
Right.
Okay. Now there's a short verse coming up,
Oh, that's right.
which, you know, by conventional measurement is 2.25 verses.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And I'm going to ignore it. Okay. Good luck translating the verses.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to go straight to the. We're going to go straight to the commentary. Okay. Okay, here we go. This Sungcha, can you read?
Yeah. 군시, 송차, 텐진,
대,
대,
진당,
진탕, 기율, 쑥, 속등아, 딱라니,
keep going.
믹, 속왕포이, 남파셰, nga, 인진par, 제칭,
Oh, you're going so well, you must do the whole thing.
Trupa iki nam parshepa dini sukso dini mikko shepam dini yulo dini wangpoi po
Wangbo.
Oh.
she zane
Dog.
dopena.
Nice. Okay, very nice. This is the same as Sungnam,
Uh-huh. It's an
in
object.
his
The
text.
object, right?
Object aspect.
The thing it holds.
Okay, no, not object.
Object
aspect.
Yeah.
Object
And
aspect.
subject aspect.
Yeah, implying that there's a
But
zinbecha.
there's a zin in it.
There's also a zinbecha,
Oh.
a subject aspect. Right now we're talking about the object aspect. Okay. Then our author gives us in a positive, God bless you. And he gives them so obviously. He uses the te. And in translation you can say, which is to say, okay,
Mhm.
the the object part of the kunshi, which is to say the zindangi yu.
The object.
On the thing it
Okay.
the thing that is held.
Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's go over some of these yuls, okay?
Mm.
There's a mikyu, shenyu, zindangi yu. Mikyu,
The object which is perceived. No?
Object which appears.
mikpa.
The appearance.
The
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 eye.
object of the senses.
Object in the eye.
What you focus on.
Or what you-
See, I looked at my husband and I thought, this is an idiot. Okay, so the husband,
It's the Mickey.
before you're interpreting,
Oh, I see.
okay, what you're looking at
Okay.
is called mikyu.
Okay.
No judgments yet.
Okay.
You're just looking at it. Mikyu. Zindangiyu means how do you take it?
Oh yeah.
How do you
Oh,
take it? The
yeah.
object as you take it. And then shenyu
Other object.
often implies a mistaken perception.
Hmm.
You know, what do you
Interpret.
fantasize that it is? Okay, shembashi, right? The four attachments.
Uh-huh.
You know, what story do you make up about this?
Oh, that's
object?
Shen?
Yeah, Shen. Shen. Okay, so what we have here is Zindangiyo, which is pretty neutral. Okay, the Sungcha, meaning the object as it is interpreted as it is taken by this consciousness. Okay, okay, Zindangiyo. Right?
Yeah.
Zindangiyo is of the number Shipa. What is it? How does the consciousness take it? Okay, the object which is taken by the consciousness. Where's the consciousness here?
Sense power?
Kunshi.
Oh.
Okay, don't forget the bucket in which your karmic states sit is also a state of mind, and it's looking at the things in the bucket and taking them a certain way.
Right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the bucket's looking at the things in the bucket, and those seeds are opening and showing pictures to the bucket. And then the bucket thinks they're outside,
Mm-hmm.
But they're really in the
but they're really inside the bucket. Okay. Mm-hmm. And this is how they explain why the world comes from karma. Okay. How does that differ from how the higher school explains it?
There's no kunshi. It's just kept in your idea of you.
You don't need a bucket.
Yeah.
You are the bucket.
It's in you, man. It's in your mind. You
Right.
can just say it in your mind. Okay. Zinangyoso. Dunna dakla. So then he glosses it again. He gives you another name. The five objects.
Mm-hmm.
When Tsongkhapa here talks about the object aspect of the kunshi, he's just talking about the five objects.
Right.
Okay? Do not. And by the way, aspect makes more sense in the mind-only school.
Yeah,
To
right.
call blue an aspect of the mind,
Right.
it makes more sense in the mind-only
Because
school.
the seed is coloring the kunshi to look like
Yeah,
blue.
it's exactly. Dunna dagnani. So take these five objects, okay, to them. What happens?
They are seen
The-
as such.
They
Focus on
the number shipas,
The
consciousnesses,
five of them.
jimba chipa.
They
Hold.
them.
Yeah, they hold on to them, okay. And the subject of the sentence is
The five consciousness.
the five consciousnesses because of the use of the instrumental. Okay. Yeah. So the I and the other consciousnesses of the powers.
Uh-huh.
So don't forget that the way perception happens, there's a blue detector, and then there's a blue detector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
So
there's a
the last
blue.
one being the kunchi.
No, well, normally just Miki number Shipa.
Uh-huh.
Right, these are
So
datus,
there's,
right?
there's three, right? There's
Yeah.
blue, there's the I
Oh, right.
power which detects blue,
Right.
and then you think I'm seeing blue.
Uh-huh.
I'm seeing blue.
Uh-huh.
Okay, got it?
Yep.
So there's three guys here. One is the sense objects, right?
Uh-huh.
One is and then there's the five consciousnesses 2 steps back, right? Which are focusing Dzimbachepa. So this is how it goes, okay? Your 5 senses, they detect objects in the world. and then the consciousnesses of the eye, of the ear, of the nose, of the tongue, they detect what they detected. They detected something. I'm seeing blue. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Blue is
I think
there.
that was it. Yeah.
Blue is there.
Blue is there.
Yeah,
Blue's
blue
there.
has been detected.
Now,
sense
in
power.
the next moment, there's the awareness in your mind of those sense
Object.
consciousnesses.
Okay.
Of those.
Then it becomes, I'm seeing blue.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's almost like your witness mind
Yeah.
at the back of in the last train stop. It says, oh look, I'm seeing blue.
Yeah.
I'm seeing blue. Okay, before you get to that consciousness, it's just blue is being seen.
Right.
Okay, then in the next millisecond, and that's called Dharma Dhatu
Uh-huh.
in the study of the Dhatus.
Yeah.
And Trungpa Rinpoche called his
Oh.
Dharma Center Dharma Dhatu,
Okay.
which means
You can know
the witness mind, everything the witness mind is seeing, okay, which is basically everything you were seeing a millisecond ago,
Yeah.
becomes the object of the mind.
Okay.
So that's Yiki Number Shepa.
Yeah.
And then Yiki Number Shepa says to itself,
Yeah.
Dini
This
Sukso.
is form.
Oh, that's blue. Dini Miko.
I see.
Oh, that's my eye. Okay, so this is very confusing if you don't know how to read it.
Yeah.
So the awareness of your mind says, oh look, blue. Oh look, I seeing blue. Or you could say Shepa'am, or you could
Or you
say,
could say,
you could just make it more general.
look,
That's
this
the
is
object.
Oh look, sense object.
Oh, look.
Oh look, sense power.
power.
Okay, Shay. And then we go to the root text
Oh, now
Right.
he's just telling me.
here. And this is the correct spelling of the present tense of Bataks.
Dope.
Oh.
We just
Okay.
labeled
Yeah.
it that way.
Yeah, it gives it those names. It uses names.
Oh.
Okay. Oh look, oh look, blue. Oh look, I. What is it really?
It's just names.
It's a seed opening. Okay, got it? That's why he says it just calls it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is how you see a pen. You know? This is how you see your wife.
I guess this will relate to the mind. Building.
Your seeds are opening. And you're watching what's coming out of a seed and you're saying, oh look, blue. Oh look, why? Okay? It's all just tiny dopa. Okay?
Wow.
It's just your mind is making labels. Your mind is gluing on labels, applying labels, we would say.
So did he take the S off of dog to make it the correct tense?
Yeah. In fact, I'm suspicious of this S, okay? Because there is no past tense of ndok. It would have been pataks.
Oh, it would.
You see, I'm suspicious of this S, okay? I think it's a damka.
Uh-huh.
I think it's a variant, but you can, okay? So far, it's pretty psychedelic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The witness mind is saying, oh look, blue. Oh look, blue over there. Oh look, my eyes think blue. But really, it's just watching seeds opening in the kunshi. Okay.
Cool.
And those seeds aren't even objects of that mind. They're just in the kunshi, so we call them objects of the mind.
Yeah.
Okay, that, if you want to get fancy. Okay. Read this, and God bless you. It means good luck.
Nar. GK Shepa Targi Senni Chitawa Shindu Sangwe Kunshi Nampar Shepa ni
Okay.
Kam Okma ni Kona
Talk.
Taktu
Not talk. Talk.
Taktu
Yeah.
Yupar Nepate
Loto ngepa.
Nepate.
This is really cute. This is amazing. Okay. Without him, we would be lost.
We were lost.
No, it's some kind of karma that we. By the way, the karma of saving the books is that these books pop up. You know that, right?
Mm.
That's why your salary is 50%. You know, what do you call it?
Database.
Preserving the books,
Mm.
and 50% using them, because I want you to have more. I want you to have a commentary when you need it. And the karma is that you have to preserve the books. It's a brilliant job. Half the time you're creating the books that you use, and the other half the time. You say, really, seriously, okay? You think this commentary just happened? We just found it? You know, why did it happen?
It's from me teaching mind only school badly at Diamond Mountain.
Yeah, just think if you taught it correctly.
It's already be English.
English was,
Okay, here we go. Oh, now this is tough, okay? Large GK Sherpa means, as I explained just now,
As I just
literally,
as I before just said.
as explained in the words previous, means,
in
as
my
I,
words,
as I just explained, okay, that Senyi
the definition.
of Kunshi, okay? Okay, so you go to here, okay? The Kunshi, which is Sangwa,
Clean.
not idiom for Adam, okay? Senyi Sangwa, Senyi Sangwa,
Oh.
which fits the definition.
Oh.
Sang means complete, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Akunshi, which is complete in every sense that I've just described it. Okay, meaning a real kunshi. So I'll say it again: a kunshi, which is complete in the way of the definition that I have just given you. So I just spent the first 7 verses telling you what is kunshi. Now let's talk about this kunshi. Let's talk about a kunshi, which has all the qualities I just described, which is definitive kunshi. Okay, a really hot kunshi. Okay, Sangwe, kunshi number shepa, you know.
Consciousness of Kunshi.
It's ngepa,
It's
Definite.
it's definite that it
is
only in
the
the kam okmani.
highest
The
highest realm.
below, no, above.
We had
Realm
okmin.
with none below.
Okmin.
The lower
when-
two realms.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Say again.
The lower two realms.
Yeah, it can only exist in the lower
Which
two
is the
realms.
whole thing with the formless realm.
Yeah,
right,
we're gonna
yeah.
get there. By the way,
That
I
was-
mean, it's starting to appreciate it. Tsongkhapa has promised us only to talk about the hard parts. That's the name of his book.
Right.
You know, it isn't a survey of the mind-only school.
Right.
Don't get frustrated. He's only talking about the weirdities of the mind-only school.
Kawa.
Okay.
Difficult point.
So he says, by the way, this kunshi, if you take a kunshi, which is complete in every way that I've just described it, by the way, they can only exist in the lower two realms.
Mm.
Okay, only in Kona, right? Who put Kona?
He did.
Yeah, our guy did. Anybody want to comment on why the doc is particularly appropriate here?
Because it refers to more than one realm.
It's 2 realms.
It's dual.
Yeah.
It's the dual form.
Dualizer.
Only
Yeah,
2.
it's the dualizer. So very cool.
Kamida.
That means he's literate.
It's spelled top,
That's
right?
Tsongkhapa. Okay.
That's
Now, what if that were not the case? Okay, please read.
One might ask.
Please read.
Gongi Chirna.
No,
Oh, sorry. Gelte.
no. Ka.
Oh.
Kalte. Gel means this vertebrae of the spine. This is Cal.
Kel.
Yeah, Kalte.
Kelte. Deta minna sukmepa nam suki dushe le mande
Good. Monday.
mande partelwa dang sukchengi sapa rutel bar girte
Telwa Gyurte.
telwa girte.
By the way, he's pre-distributing for you.
The tell.
So yeah, and even though there's not 2 tells in the root text, I would underline it. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Tawa.
Oh, because it refers to two different.
Yeah, it distributes to both. Okay. Kelte de Tamina?
That view.
No, like that.
Someone might say it's not like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if it weren't like that, if that weren't the case, what?
That the kunshi was just only in those two lower realms.
Yeah, if it's not the case,
Yeah.
that kunji is restricted to the two lower realms, to the two of the lower two of the three realms. I wouldn't say lower realms.
Right.
Yeah,
lower
yeah,
sacred.
yeah.
Those lower.
Yeah. In that case, then there would be a problem with the sugmepanams.
Formless.
There were problems with those who don't have form.
Yeah, there'd be a problem with the beings who live in the formless realm. Okay, formless realmers. There'd be a problem with formless realmers. Okay, then they would not have depa.
Transcended.
Good, they would not have transcended sukadushe.
The pungpa form, the skanda form.
Read this dushe as conception.
Oh, cool.
The whole idea of form itself.
Yeah, mental conceptions of form.
Okay.
They would not have transcended that.
Okay.
Okay, they would not have transcended that.
Yeah.
So supposedly in the formless realm, they're so far out
Transcendent.
that they live in the mind. They have no body.
Uh,
Okay,
and if
so
that-
they, in fact, they're so deep into meditation that caused it, they can't conceive of physical matter.
Oh, they can't conceive of it at all?
They cannot.
Too deep.
If you said physical matter to them, they'd say, "I don't get it. It's too gross. It's
Right.
too rough for them.
Mm.
Their mind is extremely subtle.
Wow.
So if you said color, they'd go,
Uh-huh.
you know, they'd be like, huh?
Wow.
Okay, they're beyond physicality.
Makes you wonder what's too
And that's
gross
why
for
people
us.
mistake it for
Right,
nirvana.
exactly. Or the opposite.
What's
Yeah, I
that?
can
Makes
see
you
that.
wonder
I can
what's
see
too
the
gross
tension.
for us.
Or too subtle.
You know, is there anything
Yeah.
that's too subtle? There's lots of stuff.
Yeah, like-
Yeah. Okay.
What's so gross I can't.
Okay, so they would have to have not transcended
What's gross?
the conceptions of physical matter, okay, physical form. Just tell us a tamgyur,
Yeah.
Okay.
sarcastic statement.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know, oh, so I guess they haven't transcended
Uh-huh.
thoughts of form, right?
Uh-huh.
It's, you know, the necessary consequence of your ridiculous statement would be, and that's why we call the higher group of the middle way
Prasangika.
the consequence school.
Yeah.
The consequence branch, I like to call it branch.
Yeah.
Consequence branch, okay? And there's a second tawa.
Mm.
There's a second problem. And in that case, then they would have to be Suchengi Sapas, and we had it in Stanley's check text.
They have to be
Yeah.
form realmers?
Good,
Yeah.
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 They would have to belong to
The
a
level
realm of form.
Yeah.
Okay, they would have to be living in a world of form. I believe you could say it also extends to
The desire realm. I was gonna ask.
They would have to be living in a physical realm.
They would have to.
A, they would have to have conceptions of physical matter in their mind. B, they would have to be living in a physical realm.
Mhm.
But they're not. By definition, they're not. They're in the formless realm. Formless, get it?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mhm.
Which emphasizes, okay, that what the kunshi looks at can only be the wang nga and the dun nga.
The 5 sense powers. And
Yeah, five sense powers
yeah.
and the 5 sense objects. If that's what kunshi is limited to, okay,
Then
then you cannot have kunshi in the formless realm.
Yeah.
Okay, if kunshi's objects are limited to the 5 sense objects and the 5 sense powers, then you can't have it in the
Because
formless
the
realm.
block.
Because if you did,
Mhm.
they would have conceptions of form
Yeah.
and they would be living in a physical world.
Yeah.
Okay, got it?
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
And form and conception of form in this school aren't wildly distinct anyway.
Right, yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's true. Okay, got it?
That's really cool, yeah.
And his commentary is, I want to kiss him. I guess
Yeah,
he's
it's
dead,
amazing.
but I hope you're not jealous.
It's been
Okay,
400
let's go.
years. It's like an old flame.
Okay, go.
One.
Gangi Chirna Kam Okma.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No problem.
But Didn't you say there were 3 objects at the Kunshi?
Yeah, but the Bakchaks are only nominally so.
Hey, alright.
Apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if we had not covered that point,
Yeah.
Then it would be
you
the
would have a case for
Sure.
the formless realm
Kunchi.
being still having a
saying
kunchi.
Kunchi could exist in the formless realm. Okay. If the Bakchaks were really an object of Kunchi, then you'd be in trouble when you got here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? It's cool. You got it very fast,
That's-
as usual. I mean, not all the time. Please read.
Ganki chirna kam okma ni nyang kunshi
Naang.
naang kunshi tengi
Don't give me these tangs.
te-
Teng.
teng
Tengi.
tengi dunang gi bakchak minpa la shepa la rangi ze tsam suksu nangwale ma top pe chirol na dultrarab sakpe bempo shikme pe chiro.
Okay, we don't have. How much time we got?
I'm done.
Negative.
None.
Okay, well, let's go to the end of here just so you feel like you did something.
Okay.
Chirona
People who aren't Buddhists?
If
on the outside.
Oh, on the outside. Okay.
Now he's going to go into outside objects.
Oh, yeah.
How does the mind only school? Is blue outside or not?
Oh,
Okay. Chirona dultara.
cool.
Subtle particles.
Yeah, atomic particles. Sakpe.
That collected together.
By gluing them
Conglomerated?
together. Yeah, conglomerating. Sakpe. Pembo.
Particles. Particulate.
Me.
Nah.
Okay. There is no particulate matter.
Oh boy.
There is no physical matter made of atoms
Outside.
Yeah.
in this school. Why? We're going to talk about next time.
Matope powder?
I'm not going there. You want me to finish it? I'm not
Just
gonna.
want the genitive.
Give me a genitive. Give me a genitive.
Later. It's difficult. It's not what it looks like.
Okay.
Generally, matopa means not taken in by,
Okay.
or not included by, or not subsumed by.
Mm.
Why that's relevant here, we're going to talk about. But you could say, except for appearing that way,
Oh, cool.
it's not taken in by. You see what I
That's
mean?
interesting. Yeah.
It's not subsumed.
And
When
this,
you make a list of things that exist in the world, Dhamma doesn't make it. Physical matter doesn't make it in this school.
Fascinating.
Because you're watching seeds open. Okay. It's very, yeah, now, somewhere around here I asked Geshe Rinchen, well, what's wrong with this school? You know, it sounds pretty good so far.
You don't need a bucket.
That's all, we're talking about it.
but this is cool because this answers the question so many people ask about the kunchi. Is it mind only? Why is mind only called mind only? And does that refer to? Is it mind only? You know.
Yeah, good. One of the reasons it's called mind.
Kunchi itself.
Yeah.
Sashi
Puki Jukshin Metokcham Riraling Shin Gempadi Sange Shingu Mikte Owargi Jokun Namda Shingma Parsho Iram Guru Ratna Mandala Kamiyatayami
Gewa
Geokun Sunam Yeshe Sosokshin Sunam Yeshe Lechungwe Dampa Kunito Parsho. By the way, this school got predominant from about Asanga 4th century to Chandakirti.
Right.
8th century, really, 7th century. And when did Buddhism go to China?
right before Chandrakirti.
No, in that
Yeah.
in that space of time is when Buddhism went to China. So Chinese Buddhism is strongly influenced by Maimonides,
Yeah.
which is why I gave him this text, because he's gonna enlighten. He's gonna enlighten people about the real meaning of the Maimonides.
Because I'm part Chinese.
Yeah, because you're part Chinese.